The Intelligence Committee said today that the CIA illegally opened and read the mail of several prominent Americans, including one letter to Richard Nixon. It occurred during a 20-year program of intercepting mail crossing the Iron Curtain. The man who ran that program, James Angleton, testified today. Daniel Shore reports.
Slowed down a bit by ulcer medication, Angleton, the legendary counterintelligence chief, had no apology to make for an admittedly illegal 20-year program of opening mail between the U.S. and Russia, a program that went beyond looking for communist intelligence. For, as Senator Church disclosed, letters were also being opened and photographed for a special CIA file marked Selected American Politicians. That file included a June 1968 letter to Richard Nixon in New York from his speechwriter Ray Price, traveling in Moscow, discussing his coming candidacy. A 1958 letter from Senator Hubert Humphrey, then in Moscow. This 1968 letter to Senator Edward Kennedy from a Soviet citizen in Armenia talking about a U.S.-Soviet health exchange. Senator Church's own letter from Moscow in 1971 to his mother-in-law, and mail to and from Federal Reserve Chairman Arthur Burns, Martin Luther King, Harvard University, the Ford and Rockefeller Foundations.
This kind of either surveillance or interference on any correspondence to officials or to any Americans, I think, is extremely unfortunate.
I think it's an outrage, and I don't like it. I never liked snoopers. And if the CIA doesn't have anything else but to read my mail, they're hard up for work.
We believe that it was extremely important to know everything possible regarding contacts of American citizens with communist countries.
What counterintelligence objective was it thought you were achieving in opening the mail of what most of us would assume to be very patriotic, thoughtful, decent Americans?
Sir, I would prefer, if possible, to respond to that question in executive session.
Angleton didn't reply today, but did confirm what former Nixon aide Tom Charles Houston testified yesterday, that in 1970, when President Nixon was considering permitting postal snooping, the CIA and FBI concealed from him that had been going on for 18 years.
What possible justification was there to misrepresent a matter of such importance to the Commander-in-Chief?
I have no satisfactory answer to your question.
Didn't the CIA have an affirmative duty to inform the President about such a program?
I believe so, without any question.
The committee later agreed to try to arrange for testimony from Mr. Nixon on this and other issues.
Mr. Nixon was the central figure. He's the best witness as to what his intentions were, and he's the ultimate witness as to what he was told and what he was not told.
Clearly, the pressure is on to hear from ex-President Nixon, who briefly ordered postal snooping and then called it off, apparently not knowing that it went on before and afterward, including the reading of one of his pre-presidential letters. Daniel Shore, CBS News, Washington.
The committee stopped short of subpoenaing Mr. Nixon's testimony, but a federal judge ordered the former president to submit to questioning in a damage suit resulting from White House wiretapping. The judge rejected Mr. Nixon's claim of executive privilege and confidentiality and ordered that a deposition be taken at or near San Clemente.